Hello everyone, welcome to Imprint IAS and I'm Varun Khodar, and today we're going to do a few questions, objective type questions that is from India after independence 1947 to 2000. And the reason being is that despite the fact that we think that post-independence is not asked in prelims, there were actually a few questions which were asked from the post-independence period in the prelims 2018, right? So let's look at the first question which was asked right in prelims 2018, right? And the question was, consider the following statements. In the first Lok Sabha, the largest party in the opposition was the Swatantra Party. This is the first statement given. Then in the Lok Sabha, a leader of the opposition was recognized for the first time in 1969. And then we have the third point. In the Lok Sabha, if a party does not form a minimum number of 75 members, its leader cannot be recognized as the leader of the opposition. Okay, so these are the three statements, and you're given choices. Option A is 1 and 3, option 2 is 2 only, option C is 2 and 3, and option D is 1, 2 and 3. Okay, now obviously let's say you actually had read post-independence history. Some of you actually skip it, right? So you should remember that the Swatantra Party was actually established in 1959, and it was established by C. Rajagopalacharya because they wanted to basically because there were too many socialist voices which were starting in the Congress, right? So obviously the first Lok Sabha election was done in 1950, 51, 52. So definitely that is not possible, right? So one is definitely wrong. So with that, I can safely say that A and D is gone, right? Now the only two choices I have is 2 only and 2 and 3 only. Now the only, obviously you can assume now safely that 2 is correct, right? With this, now you only have to check whether 3 is correct. Now, if you had actually been following the leader of the opposition controversy in the Lokpal bill debate, that the leader of the opposition should be there for a Lokpal to be appointed, right? And the BJP government has very safely argued that there's nobody with the minimum number of Lok Sabha members, that is 55 members, right? So this is not 75, but this is 55, right? Hence, your answer will be B, right? Okay, and that's the answer. The answer is B, that is 2 only, and this is right. I would definitely urge you to read about the leader of the opposition controversy, right? You can actually go through Indian Express explain page for that. Okay, let's look at another question, which is a question which I have actually prepared from the book. That is a question on post-independence. So, which of the following has been described as the coincidence of the Constitution? A. Preamble and fundamental duties. B. Preamble and DPSPs. C. Fundamental duties and fundamental rights. D. Fundamental rights and DPSP. Right. So, in case you would remember, if you had seen the chapter number 4. You should be able to answer this question, right? Right. So pause the video in case and try to answer this question, right? You can comment on the video, right, as well, and let's check whether so let's check whether you're correct or not. Okay, so the answer is D, right? And it is a direct quote, right? When in chapter 4 on fundamental rights and DPSP, when it starts, it says the core of the commitment to the social revolution lies in part 3 and 4, in the fundamental rights and in the DPSPs. That is directive principles of state policy. And these are the coincides of the Constitution. So from here, we are getting this, right? And that's why I say that, you'll find a lot of answers to questions from these books. Okay, next, start the third question now. Now, in the third question, we have, which of the following tasks were performed by the Constituent Assembly? Now, obviously, first choice, the first choice is very simple: drafting of the Constitution of India, definitely true. Number 2, adopting the National Song of India. You might not know whether this happened or not. Enactment of ordinary law. This also we know because of the fact that once partition of India was adopted, right, on 3rd of June, the Mountbatten Plan, actually it doubled up as a parliament as well, right? So definitely 1 and 3 are correct. And if you look at the choices, choice A is 1 only, B is 1 and 2, and C is 2 and 3, and 1, 2, and 3 is the only choice we have. So with that, the answer becomes D. Now, this is a very interesting thing, I would say, all right? Despite the fact you did not know whether the Constituent Assembly adopted the national song, you now actually know that yes, they did. Okay, and just for knowledge sake, so in addition, they also adopted the national flag in July 22nd, 1947. National anthem was adopted on 24th January 1950, and also adopted the national song on the same day, right? So this is something I think you should note down, right? Pause the video and note these things down. I think this would really help in the future question. Okay, let's look at the next question. Which of the following committees were set up in the reorganization? The Dhar Commission, the Fazal Ali Commission, and the Jawaharlal Nehru, Vallabhbhai Patel, and Pitabi Sitaramaya Committee, right? And in case you have ever, if you read, the Consolidation of India chapter, right, and that chapter will be soon be posted on our channel, you will find that all of them are actually correct. So answer is 1, 2, and 3, right? And very interestingly, what happened was in the Dhar and the JVP, in both, they basically said that we should not have linguistic division of states, right? But in the Fazal Ali Commission, which was State Reorganization Commission, it was finally accepted. And there's a history of violence of state reorganization. And yes, in a future video, we'll go through this in detail. Okay, let's look at the next question. Question number 5. Which of the following are unitary or non-federal features in the Indian Constitution? Number 1, single constitution. Number 2, emergency provisions. Number 3, single citizenship. And we have given codes like 1 only, 1 and 3, 2 and 3, and 1, 2 and 3. Now, if you would remember, unitary features, what are unitary features? Obviously, a single constitution and single citizenship are definitely unitary features, right? Which of the following are non-federal features, right? Right. Obviously, emergency power is also a non-federal feature. So answer would be 1, 2, and 3. All of them are, features of typically, right, unitary nature. Okay, right. So again, this is again from the previous video, in which we talked about the federal nature of the Indian Constitution, right, from chapter number 5. Then look at question number 6. It says, with reference to the Constituent Assembly of India, consider the following statements. Now, everybody knows the Constituent Assembly of India was formulated under the Cabinet Mission Plan, and that was 1946. It was a body that elected indirectly by the people on the basis of adult suffrage. No, adult suffrage or universal adult franchise was only given after the Constitution was adopted. So this was actually, if you would remember the various topics that we have discussed in the national legacy as well as in the future chapters, you will realize that this is definitely wrong. So only answer is 1 only, and answer is A. Right. Then we have the next question. In India, the concept of secularism connotes religion and the state must be strictly separated. Number 2, freedom of religion there's freedom of religion of both individuals and communities. Now, interestingly, if you think about it, religion and state are strictly separated only not in India, but abroad. Okay, right? Because the basic idea was that the church and the state actually had a fight. In India, it was just because state and secularism in India basically means that obviously it was basically the nationalists against the communist. It was never the religion and the state. Okay, there was never a conflict between the religion, that the heads of religion, and the government, that is the nationalist. Okay, so definitely this is not correct. And freedom of religion of both individual and communities, that's true. So answer is 2 only, B answer. Okay, but if you think about in West, obviously I would say both of them would be correct. If the question was in West, which is the concept of secularism. And we have discussed the concept of secularism repeatedly in our chapter number 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and I do encourage you that do watch the chapter number, Ideas of India chapter from Ramchandra Guha book, and as well as the post-independence chapter from chapter number 5. That is, right, the Indian Constitution. Then let's look at the next question. Consider the following statements regarding the Constituent Assembly. It was a full sovereign body. Yes, definitely it was. Right. It could abrogate or alter any law made by British Parliament in relation to India, definitely, and that was its power. The Muslim League never joined the assembly. This was also true, right? The Muslim League never joined the Constituent Assembly, and that was a reason that it had to actually be cut down the size of the. And this you can actually go through this in chapter number 4 of our post-independence series. So answer is D. Okay, let's look at the next question. Consider the following statement regarding the preamble to the Indian Constitution. It is based on the objective resolution moved by Jawaharlal Nehru on the Constituent Assembly on 13 December 1946. It is not a part of the Constitution, and you've asked which of the following statements are correct. A, one only, B, two only, C, both one and two, and D, neither of them. Now, if you think about this, I would say is a very difficult question because they're actually given you a date. Okay, and they've been asked a very conceptual question whether the preamble is a part of the Constitution, and there has actually been repeated debates, and in the Berubai case, and in the Keshwan Bharti, Mirabai Mills, in a lot of cases the preamble has been discussed and it has been said to be the part of the Constitution, especially in the Berubai. So this is actually correct, and for this you actually need to study your polity really well, right? And for the first question, you should remember this in case you have gone through the chapter, right, in which the preamble was discussed. That is chapter number 4 and the ideas of India chapter. So obviously answer is one only. This is obviously not correct. It is not a part of the Constitution, right? It is a part of the Constitution. Repeatedly it has been said, and it's a part of the basic feature itself. Then we have the final question, I would say, question number 10. We'll only be doing 10 questions every time we do this, and we'll be doing it repeatedly across. I'll try to put as many objective questions in a week, right? So the Union Powers Committee, right, it was started by Jawaharlal Nehru. Yes, true. He's the head of that. He's the chairman. Drafting Committee, B.R. Ambedkar, true. And Provincial Constitution Committee, Sardar Patel. And this is also true. So all of them are correct. You should, actually remember all the Constituent Assembly committees, right? And actually make a list before any exam. You should actually revise them. This is something, a factual question which can come in any time. Okay, right? So these were the 10 questions. If you have any questions, right, you do ask us. Email at us imprintknowledgesolutions@gmail.com. You can go to our website imprintias.com. You should visit our Facebook page, definitely. Please subscribe to our channel, right? We are doing our best. If you have any other requests for us, we'll definitely be doing this one, right? Thank you so much.